Have you ever noticed that the face of someone who has shaved recently and has slight stubble appears to have a greenish-blue tint? This is usually observed in fair-skinned people, but the color of the tint can darken with the skin tone of the person. This unusual phenomenon also happens in people who have just shaved their heads. One might think their eyes are playing tricks on them, or chalk it up to the lighting in a given space. Upon researching this on the internet, it appears that some people have noticed this in other people's faces, while others have not. Before we get into the whys and hows of this visual trickery, we need to understand an artistic effect from the 19th century, which will explain why this peculiar color shift happens. In the late 1800s, around 1886, a painting technique was developed known as pointillism. This technique did not use continuous brushstrokes, but rather individual dots to make paintings. The viewer's brain then did the work of putting these dots together to form the overall picture. Viewed from a distance, our eyes mix the colors of such a painting to bring the actual picture to life in our heads. Upon closer inspection, however, the picture will merely look like individual dots of different colors. The dots, when blended from a distance, lead to completely new colors in our perception. As for the beards and strangely colored faces, the greenish-bluish coloration is clearly visible on fair skin, but not so apparent on darker skin types. Another peculiarity is that this coloration only occurs when a person has recently shaved, when the new hair has just begun to break through the clean, shiny skin. Of the two most reasonable answers I discovered, the first was closely related to pointillism. Just as artists like Monet and Seurat summoned pictures in our minds with accumulations of dots, our own brain does the same thing with beards. When the stubble has just begun to grow, the young hair looks tiny black or brown spots against fair skin. Seen from a distance, it gives the impression of a color that is some combination of hair color and skin color. Thus, it can appear green, blue, or gray. The second explanation posits that the black hair absorbs light, particularly from longer wavelengths of the red and orange region, while simultaneously reflecting light from the green and blue regions. This gives the bearded area a greenish-blue hue. Obviously, this color effect also depends on lighting to some extent. This phenomenon is only visible in fair-skinned people because dark skin doesn't provide the appropriate canvas, so to speak, to detect such a blurring of color. If you're still scratching your head about this green-blue face scenario, the next time you meet someone who has just shaved their head, take a little peek for yourself.